You ever stop and think how much your time is actually worth? And more importantly, all those things, all those purchases you make over the years, are they worth that time? I know for me, on the lower end of the pay scale, if I'm making 30 grand a year and the average house price in my area is 300 grand, that's 10 straight years of working away just to put a roof over my head. And of course, over those 10 years, I need to eat, I need clothing, heating, all the other basic things I need to just survive as a human being, transport to get myself to that job. And I've really been doing the math lately, and for me anyway, it ain't adding up. Now don't get me wrong, if you are lucky enough to have that kind of money lying about, you're in a well-paid job, you have money in your family or whatever circumstances you're in, I mean, fair play to you. But I know I'm not, and I don't think a lot of people are. And yeah, I think a lot of people are coming to the realisation lately that this math ain't adding up for us. That's why you're seeing a rise in, I mean, homelessness is the extreme end of the scale, but a lot of people doing van life and people finding other ways to survive nowadays. Because the cost of everything, at least over here in the UK and around a lot of the world at the moment, especially around Europe, and I know the US have got their problems, it just ain't adding up anymore. And I came to that realisation. Well, I suppose it's always, I've known it, I just never saw any sort of alternative, so I just carried on doing what I was doing. Yeah, I've been saving away for the last few years, got myself enough to get a deposit, but then I'm thinking, right, then what? All I've really done is saved up enough money to buy myself a huge debt in the form of a mortgage and all the rest of it. And it don't make sense to me, because at the end of the day I'd still be stuck in some shitty job that I hate, just with, I say, my own roof over my head, but until you pay off that mortgage, that ain't your home, that is the bank's home. It only takes one injury, one illness, any other number of reasons why you can't pay those bills anymore, and you lose it all. And yeah, it just ain't making sense to me anymore. And again, just the cost of it all. 300 grand, it's a 30-year mortgage, so that's next 30 years. So if I'm lucky and everything goes well, if I don't run into any issues, by the time I'm 70, I'd have that house paid for. So I've got a nice comfortable roof over my head to die in, having given away all my time just to keep that roof over my head. And it just ain't making sense. Same as all the other little things we're supposed to enjoy. It's never something that's sat right with me. I've never been someone that's had a lot of debt. I did it once when I was very young, got a bank loan, and I hated that feeling of just someone else having that hanging over my head. The idea that I'm paying for something that the money's already gone, but I'm still paying it month after month. And it don't sit right with me. Never has. I've never really owned credit cards. I never do finance. But again, that's another thing in this consumerist, materialistic world we're living in. We all want it right now. The amount of young kids I see driving about in 40, 50, 60,000 pound cars just because now they can show off to their mates, maybe get the girls to look at them, not really computing that they're going to be paying for that car for the next 20 years or however many, long before it's gone, or long after it's gone rather. We all want the latest phone on a 3-4 year contract. By the time you've actually paid off that contract, that phone is now obsolete, or it's been built to break within that time, so you're forced to upgrade to the newest one. And just more and more, it ain't making sense to me. I know for me personally, the happiest I feel is when I'm out doing what I'm doing now. Yeah, I've got a camera in my hand, but I could quite happily sit out here all day, every day, providing the British weather's cooperating. And it's the happiest that I am, away from all of that. I don't need any of that stuff. Obviously, when the sun goes down, a bit of shelter would be good, but when you add up the cost of all those things, are they really worth it? And for me personally, I've come to the realisation that no, it's not. Not for me anyway. You work your 48 weeks of the year to get your 4 weeks holiday where you can actually go out and live a little, do a bit of travelling, see some new places, and then you spend the next 48 weeks doing the same until you can do it again. The cost of living over here in the UK is a bit beyond control really, and the opportunities work-wise seem to be drying up at the same time. And since COVID, when I lost my roofing job, I've just been doing whatever I could to get by. I couldn't count how many applications I've put out. And again, I've still been working all this time, just in low paying, whatever I can do. But the thought of doing that forever, it's just not adding up. The older I've got, I know happiness lies for me with not the things that I can add to my life, it's more the things that I can take away. The simpler my life gets, the happier I seem to get. I don't think that's coincidence. Once I stopped focusing on all those little all those things that you're told that you're meant to acquire, and just being happy with what I've got, and not even what I've got, what we've got. I mean, we've got this all to share. And this is me at my happiest. A slow walk through nature. And this is all I really need. I'm lucky enough to have done a little bit of travelling in my time. And some of the happiest people I've ever met are the people with the least. I mean, you'd call it abject poverty, what they're living in. Some little shack somewhere, but they're all happy, they're all smiling. Obviously they have their struggles. Meanwhile, here in the UK, I see a lot of very miserable people driving around in nice cars that own a big, nice house, and they're miserable. So why is that? Obviously right now it's a bit of a dark cloud hanging over the UK. I see it all the time. I mean, going around in foreign countries, you walk around all day and you do a walk like I'm doing now, and you see someone coming, you get a big smile, a hello, maybe a little conversation. The amount of people I see doing this and just walking about, walking their dogs or whatever, and there's almost a sense of fear to them. Instead of smiling and saying hello, they kind of bow their heads. Maybe it's because I look like a fucking psycho, but you just see it as a tension in people over here. And I think that's largely to do with sort of a culture over here. We're all glued to our social media all the time. glued to the news, we're taught to fear each other, we're all so caught up in it and ourselves. Although we have all these nice things that are supposed to define us, why does everybody seem so bloody miserable all the time? Why is everybody so afraid of each other? And where am I going? Because I've lost the trail. Last time I walked through here, I tried to take a shortcut over a barbed wire fence, got my foot caught, ended up upside down in said barbed wire fence, shoulder deep in a big muddy puddle. So we'll try not to do that again today, but I can't promise nothing. But I suppose back to what I was saying, life in the UK just ain't adding up anymore. Not for a lot of us, but a lot of us feel very trapped and feel kind of obliged just to go along with things in a way. We're all willing to acquire these huge debts. I mean, let's be honest. They keep saying it ain't happening, but we're going to crash again soon. As bad as things are at the minute, it's going to get worse. Things have been allowed to get so out of control, and you can point your blame at all these other little things like Iran and the oil issues, but it's been going on for decades, this. The powers that be, whether they're left, right, Labour, Conservative, whoever they are, let's just call them the elites, have stripped this country dry, and we're all being left to pick up the pieces. And a lot of us are realising that it just ain't worth it. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to measure up quality of life with cost of living. And cost of living's through the roof, and the quality of life just seems to be going down and down every day. It's like driving on a slalom on these roads nowadays, dodging the potholes. There's bins not getting collected. There's, well, the list is endless really. As a lot I was saying earlier, people just seem upset, pissed off. Rising thefts, violent crime. And it's just going to the dogs, isn't it? Let's be honest. Don't get me wrong. I do love this country. But it's becoming a very hard place to live for regular working class people. Seems like you have the option of deliberately stifling yourself, not saving any money so you can get yourself a council house, or give the rest of your life to debt. Either one's not really a great option, is it? So the van life thing's appealed to me for a long time, although I don't think it's as cheap as people make out. I mean, just go on Auto Trader and look at the price of a camper van. And it's getting very hard to do in the UK. I know near me there's not a single free car park in the national park near me. Used to be you could just park up wherever you like, there's free car parks everywhere. Now there's a charge for every single one of them, no overnight parking and all the rest of it. And it feels like you're getting backed into a corner, it does for me anyway. So I've got a lot of respect. I said I mentioned him in the last video, but Nomad Sam, fair play to that guy. And there's a lifestyle that does appeal to me, except for the fact that I have no real survival skills and I'll probably be dead within a month, but sink or swim, eh? But yeah, bringing things back full circle. The old way just ain't working for me anymore. Reality, it never has. I don't think it ever will, but it's time just to throw fate to the wind and try something new. And I should be anxious, I should be worried, I should be panicked, but I'm not. I'm relaxed, I'm happy, and I'm just interested to see how things go for me. I'm not really married to any outcome. I am just, for the first time in my life, excited for whatever surprise is around the corner. And it's a very freeing feeling. So yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for that. Well done. Leave a comment, do a like or a share or whatever else you're meant to do. And I will see you next time.